Okay, so I'm back. I've mounted the Fanta stick to the mounting plate. The thing that bothered me a little bit when I tried to mount it to the Sanwa mount on my Hori stick is that these screw holes were they were being blocked by a piece of the Fanta. Now this piece, functionally, if you had used it for the Fanta mount on a Korean mount stick, it would you would need these screw holes. But since I'm using it on the semi-universal mounting plate, everything is tightened in by these screws, so I don't need this to mount it to my case. So I went ahead and I just cut this off with a. I mean, I use an angle grinder, but you can use pretty much any saw, even like a manual saw to cut it off. It's basically just plastic, so it should be an easy cut. You don't have to worry about getting it straight or everything. I just basically cut it where the holes are. So I found out where the holes. I just use the holes as a guide to where to cut it. As long as these holes are exposed, you can mount it to um, the any Sanwa case. I think Sanwa compatible parts. So now you can see that basically everything is lined up to these holes, um, and we'll just mount them to get everything properly mounted. I'm gonna use a screwdriver, so it's gonna be fairly fast. Fairly, but not instantly. So I'm gonna put all 4 screws on first, but not tighten them. I want them a little bit loose, just to get a little bit of play. So I've mounted the screws. They're a little bit loose because I want to just adjust them a little bit, make sure everything is aligned properly before I do the final screw, just to make sure everything's tightened and aligned properly. There you go. Nothing is moving around. Nothing is. Yeah, everything's lined up. Nothing's moving around. Everything's cleared. There's no. Yeah, there's no play or give or anything. It's mounted properly. I mean, with the modifications we made, it's not terrible. Nothing is. I mean, no one's gonna look underneath your case. The only gripes I have is that since this is plexiglass on top, it's not. It didn't draw out as easily, or didn't draw out as rounded as the bottom. So that's fine. But as I'm feeling it, there's really nothing. I put the stick on. It's really nothing. It feels really good. There's nothing, back here that's really gonna dig into my fingers or anything like that. So as far as I can tell, it's gonna be a good mount. So I'm gonna flip this around and put on the actuator, and then we'll wire it. So the actuator, it's this piece here. It's a circular actuator. So this smaller, you can see that there's a smaller part and then there's a bigger, fatter end on it. So the fatter end actually goes towards you as you're mounting it. So the fatter end goes at the end of the stick. And then there's this C-clamp thing that you have to kind of put in. I'm just going to use pliers. There we go. So that's mounted properly. It's clicking, going right, left, down, up. It's the opposite of what you think. Yeah, so that's up. Up is actually in the bottom. Down is actually in the top. Left is, yeah, that's left. Left is actually in this left one, and right is actually in this right one. Did I get that right? So right, yeah, I'm going right. So it's actually in this one, which is, I think, a little bit different. It's reversed somehow, somewhere. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I have my wiring harness that I've pre-labeled, so I know where everything is. So where do we start? We're gonna start with right or left. So right is actually in the right. I'm gonna actually put, I've labeled it right. I think it's the top piece goes with the wire. These other, the black one is the ground. So I think you have to just plug it in. There we go. Ground. So left, up on the stick is doing the bottom. Yeah, make sure you get this connection really tight, otherwise there may be, you know, some malfunction. It's gonna go loose when you jiggle the stick a lot. Left, yeah, left is this one, so can I do this? And down. That's down. Okay, so that's wired properly, and it should go up here somewhere, like this. Stick that in. All right, so that's the basic wiring. I'm gonna put the bottom on just to play test it. It's much easier with the bottom on, and just to keep all these wires from, you know, running amok. So for my case, it's the bottom, but I can imagine some other cases, you know, it's from the top or whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's all relatively the same. So I'm gonna drill it in, and we'll have a play test later.